Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Welcome back to USA States Cup 2026. It is time for our first winners bracket quarter-final match. And we have what can only be described as El Clásico on the slate for you tonight. It's North California versus Texas, the most common matchup in USC history. These teams meeting for the 11th time. Texas continues to try to chip away at North California's 7-3 lead in the historical series. And man, oh man, we got some rosters. We got Texas running back last year. We got NorCal bringing in 3 new players. It's a lot of new look stuff. It's a lot of new look goings on. But it's 2 teams still striving to get to that elusive top spot on the podium. And I'm here for it. T1G joined by Miles this evening. Miles, welcome. Good evening. Happy Friday night.
Happy Friday night to you as well. Nothing better than El Clasico as the first match. Now, second match of the weekend, sorry, because we did have that Thursday night match last night, which was crazy. But yeah, really excited to see how this one goes. I think maybe for one of the first times in this matchup, I think I look at these rosters and I favor Texas a little bit in this one. NorCal adding a lot of new players to this roster. We've got Cyberoni, I think Nice Broccoli, and I Suck at HD being the new players on this roster who, by the way, could potentially be stuck in limbo. I think you know a little more about that situation than I do, so I'm going to let you explain it.
I mean, and I know minimal information on this as well, right? As best I can understand, right, they were restricted like a week ago-ish, missed last weekend's matches while restricted, unrestricted within the last day or two. And so we're kind of playing this last second, can they or can't they play in tournament situation. For now, they're unrestricted without being told that they're tournament banned or anything like that. So we wait for any further information on the matter. But that's kind of the status for now. It's a little bit of a weird one to be sure. OSU support communication issues kind of rearing their ugly head at a sort of bad timing vis-a-vis tournament matches being on the weekends and all that. But so we'll see. And that is, of course, as you mentioned, one of those new players alongside Nice Broccoli and Cyberoni. And they've not really missed a beat this year, NorCal, right? They've gone 5-0 against New Mexico in the first match, 5-0 against Florida in the round of 16. So, clearly 3 new players in to replace some very solid longtime members in Fiery Rage and Jackson alongside Flaro from last year's teams, and really hasn't caused any sort of visible problems to their roster so far.
Yeah, Cyberoni, I mean, especially on NorCal, has made a lot of ripples in the tourney scene in the last year, to my knowledge. Definitely the type of player to look out for, especially with the returning talent for NorCal. You've got Hexagon, Woodchi, and Window Life, 3 very stable hands at their skill set. I mean, Window Life being potentially the best speed player in North America when he's playing at his best. And Woodchi, OWC winner, can't take that away from him. Really good on his aim and speed skill set. And meanwhile for Texas, I mean, they're coming off of a second place finish last year with this exact roster. So looking to try to repeat that and maybe get over the hump this year. All looking very strong so far in the previous 2 matches, having a 5-1 result against Indiana and then a 5-0 result against Massachusetts in the round of 16, which was the chillier pair Super Bowl, as I will call it.
Chillier facing off against his old team with that win over Massachusetts, asserting dominance. And the Texas, one of the first teams I've ever seen to run back a full 6-player roster from one year to the next. But you get second, in 2025, and you have players who have continued to be at the top of their game. Decatur has continued to play incredibly well. Flames tier has really even ascended this year. Yes, so has seasons now.
Is he the pitcher for the Texas Rangers?
Yep. They're in there alongside Jacob DeGrom, But Flames tier has been playing really, really well this year. Chillier, Aiden, Toybot, and Trigon, rounding out as just solid players really across the board. So I think Texas, despite slipping a little bit, or no, excuse me, they went up 1 seed from 7th to 6th. But they're one of those teams that they get top 8 every year, but they want more, right? They get 7th through 8th, 2021, 2022, 2023, go up to 5th, 6th, 2024, get 2nd last year. And it's like, man, we just want that new winner from, and maybe that can be them every chance we get at USC finding a new champion. And Texas has been one of those teams that's always been so close, but never has quite managed to do it.
Yeah, I mean, historically, one of the highest baselines in the entirety of USC. I mean, alongside teams like, I guess, Florida and the Californias, just always up there with the best. Getting a couple of second places in 2019, taking this very NorCal team to bracket reset, winning that match in that first set in tiebreaker, which was really impressive. I thought they could have done it that year, but came up just a little bit short. Came up short last year as well, but I believe that match was very dominant in favor of New York in 2025. So trying this year with a lot of their players really leveling up their skill this year, potentially could get over the hump, but this is going to be their first big challenge in that campaign.
Yeah, and that's how USC kind of goes, I feel. We talk kind of about the skill brackets of this tournament, and it really does seem like the top 6 teams, I would say, generally speaking, elevate themselves above pretty much everybody else. You look at the quarterfinals this year, and I do think there are 2 pretty surprising teams in that 8, or 2 teams that maybe some would put on a tier below, and then you just have everybody else like just absolutely fighting based on kind of historical precedent. And so you get into some of a couple of teams get maybe what could be considered more favorable matchups, and then you just have some absolute down and out street fights. And this NorCal Texas matchup is definitely more in the latter territory, where you really either team, once you get into this stage, it feels like either team could come out on top, and it's just who's better on that given day on that given pool, and maybe who's got better aim if we're playing Breaking the Habit Turbo Collab Love Diff.
Yeah, and I mean, on a quarterfinals map pool as well, like, this is very much in the wheelhouse of every player in the lobby. Like, both teams are going to be able to really show their true firepower on a map pool like this. No one's really getting skill capped. It's just who has more good picks in this match. And with that, I'm actually not so sure, to be honest, because, Texas really, I think, has a 2-pronged attack with their speed and their reading, but NorCal, I think, a lot more. I'm not sure how to put it really.
NorCal is in an interesting sort of spot as far as skill set coverage. I feel, they have been picking a bit of tapping so far in the tournament, but I mean, when you've just won by a combined 10-0 in maps, like, you've kind of been in a situation where you could pick whatever you want and have whatever the other team wanted to pick into you, and it just didn't matter because you're outskilling them by such a vast margin. You've got a couple of really strong speed players, you've got a couple of pretty solid reading players, and then it's just like, okay, how do we leverage this best into a team that is also good at speed and reading? We might see, kind of some competition on similar skill sets, depending on, what really feels best to these teams. Like you said, who has the best picks, who feels the best about their picks, where there are picks in common.
And I think a really critical point in this match, because it's early stage, I think teams can't really pick their sort of like bread and butter skill sets, especially when you're up against another top team like Texas and NorCal here. Like, if you're NorCal and you want to pick tapping to try to abuse, like, say, Woochie and Window Life's like specialties, like, you can't really reliably do that into Texas and expect yourself to have such a big lead when the maps are just low 7 stars, because the players on Texas, like, they're very consistent. You're not really going to be able to make use of Window Life's skill cap difference over the top players on Texas.
Yeah, and even then, I mean, that skills cap difference really only applies to one particular skill set, because for a lot of other stuff, if you're Texas, I mean, you've got like Decatur, right, who is very, very capable no matter what star range you're playing in, as you know, kind of that that opposing number. So it's this is such an interesting stylistic matchup, and it just feels like a toss-up going in. And of course, getting into the quarterfinals, now we go into larger pool size. We go 2 bands per team. We go best of 11. So, everything just kind of ratchets up a notch. And so we are going to get into the bands, and we'll maybe start to get a feel for how this match might play out.
I'm really curious to see if NorCal decides to strike out the reading in this band phase here because Toybot and Trigon have just been stellar on the side of Texas for winning a lot of these gimmick picks, and they're third on that being either Flames here or Aidenth as well. Like, they just have so much depth on that skill set that I think that NorCal might consider getting rid of some of the gimmickier maps in the pool, like Hidden 2, like something potentially a DT1 even, although that map I think probably gets left up. I'm thinking more like HR2 as well, but that's a completely different realm.
Yeah, this is a really interesting sort of pool. All told, there's, with the increased size, you do bring in some just more skill set representation, some more pick options. You bring in Astolfo about to catch this dick. Like, stuff just gets weird. Yeah, I know.
I hope it gets picked so badly. I hope it gets picked so very badly. And it looks like Texas is gonna go for second pick. So opting to give NorCal the first choice, deciding they want to potentially get the final pick before tiebreaker if it comes to that. That is the main advantage of second pick. Second ban for NorCal, obviously.
Yeah, no surprise there. That one's how that always goes. And now we will learn something. Is this going to be, like the Hidden 2? Is this going to be Mod 4? Or is this going to be like Nomad 5, DT3 type of situation? I'm very interested.
Okay, Fremod 3 to come out as the ban from Texas. Absolutely not what I expected. That's the Fremod stream map. I would have expected them to run like a roster of Toybot Hidden, Flamesteer Hard Rock on that, so kind of a curious ban for Texas, honestly. But maybe that map not really fitting their tastes.
Yeah, that might just be like, we don't want to play this particular map more so than we need to ban this against NorCal, because I do think that they're generally pretty good at Fremod with the team roster they have. The Nomad 2 in response. That's just a pretty generic tech pick. That's just what the cat. Again, I don't know if that's just a comfort ban or something.
Has to be like that. I feel like those bans just kind of feel the same to me because, like, What the Cat is the map where I think everyone in this match should be able to get, like, at least, like, a 400k score on that map. Like, a ban on that just means you don't feel very consistent on hitting some of the more RNG patterns on that map, I guess.
All right, and we have notice. Official word has come down, because I have been in communication as best I can, that in the wake of the restriction situation, it does appear that I Suck at Hidden is no longer going to be allowed to play. They should have received or be receiving personal communication on that matter from official support. So that's going to get interesting. I do not love entirely being in this position, but that is apparently the official support decision that has come down at OSU support.
That's got to be a first. I mean,
I can't think that I can't say I've ever been in this. I can't say I've ever been in this position before. I don't know that I can recall this having happened, but in the interest of not getting my tournament unbadged for allowing somebody to play that's not allowed to play, I kind of am just going to have to go with that.
yeah, I mean, like, we've seen a lot of tournament bans happen over the years for whatever reasons, but never quite have we seen one at the warm-up and pick ban phase of match time happen before. So I guess that player for NorCal is going to get struck down, and now I think Texas is going to be playing 6v5 here. Yeah,
Waiting,
no, it's a ban phase for a different reason now, I guess.
It is, yeah, it's a ban phase in more ways than one. Wow. Texas has chosen, instead of banning a second map, not, I should say, like, obviously this is not Texas doing this. I shouldn't even imply that, because somebody will take me seriously.
Even, like, that funny of a situation.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't be joking about this.
I mean,
like,
it's a shitty situation. Basically, but there we are. So, that all in mind, that might change things up in terms of strategy for this match. Texas chooses to ban DT2 as their second ban. Chillier pair stun locked. Yeah, I would be too. I think literally everyone involved in this match is a little taken aback at the moment. Now reading gets interesting, and I don't entirely know what all else they would necessarily play, but probably affect the strategy.
yeah, I mean, NorCal, like, at this point, you have to rethink your entire ban strategy because you're missing one of your key gimmick players. Now you probably just have to strike out that hidden 2. You can't afford to go into a map like that against Trigon and Toybot anymore. Or potentially even the free mod 4 as well. Just anything gimmick now, you're kind of on the back foot here if you're NorCal.
Yeah,
In fact, part of me thinks it would be fair if they'd be able to change that no mod 2 ban, but you're the host, not me.
Nice. Well, nobody. Yeah, no, they're gonna ban hidden 2. That might have just been the same bans anyway, low key.
But yeah, gonna go into that hidden 2 ban, missing one of their hidden players now. Into the match we go. First pick for NorCal. Probably do expect them to start in that DT pool, either that DT3 or DT4, I think.
Yeah. You gotta now you're just picking speed, right? Like, I think you're probably just picking mechanics now as NorCal, and you're saying Wuchi window life +1. Roll 2. Rolls 2. DT4.
Rolls 2 on the first pick.
Hey, I was
DT4.
right.
There we go.
I was like, this is probably rolling between DT3 and DT4. Raison d'être. Somebody French is probably gonna make fun of me for my pronunciation, even though I was trying. It's the fast. 278 BPM, 10.3. Yeah, this is gonna be Wuchi window life +1 against what? Flames tier. Does Decaton play this?
It's gonna be Aidenth. I think it's Flames tier Aidenth Chillier potentially.
Ooh.
or Decatur. I'm not sure if Decatur plays this or Chillier.
Yeah, this might be a little fast, but
I think traditionally Chillier would play this, but him being like a little bit less active, I don't think I expect him to play as much like speed on this team as he would used to.
I think like I know he has been playing a decent amount of tapping stuff, just yeah, like as a matter of course. So might be in for the tapping matters in the tournament here. Nice broccoli. That, of course, I forgot. They're like super highly ranked, right? So they are going to be fast because that's what you have to do to be highly ranked nowadays.
Yeah, this
Boy.
DT roster for NorCal,
That's scary.
gonna be really, really strong. I mean, what I said about Window Life is still true, even if he's also a player who I think has been a little less active this year than in previous years. Still just an absolute talent at this DT, should be probably on the board for an FC on this one. And it will be Chillier, Flamesteer, and Aidenth on Texas. Try and fight back on this one.
Yeah, I think this should be, even without I Suck at Hidden, I think NorCal does have at least a couple of really good starting picks because they have this core for the tapping mechanics, and so this will at least give them kind of a lever in the early stages of this match. But the question is, what happens once you get through these tapping picks, and if you lose any of them, then you're probably in an interesting spot, because then the pick strategy becomes a little more murky.
I mean, if you win this one, you can confidently go into Astolfo about to catch his dick later in the match, so...
What if this is just what if this is just a six-way? What if this is just a six-way map?
We've got a lot of time to go for that to happen. I mean, it's only 2 minutes and 33 seconds of drain time after DT. We're already a quarter of the way through, all 6 players still FCing, but can never expect that to go all the way to the end.
Oh, nice broccoli will be the first to fall. So that is advantage Texas. Instantly the 60+ K score lead. Accuracy suffering a little bit on Woodshi as well, down at 95 versus the high ac from Texas. There is the first break, though. It's Aiden, who is kind of the speed, specialty player on this roster. That's what he's here for, largely, right? So, but Window Life is gonna actually trade it. And did my eyes deceive me? Did Nice Broccoli get banchoed?
I think he did, so yeah, it is only Window Life on the miss for NorCal now, and Aidenth and Flamesteer does drop for Texas, and that's gonna really throw this one back in favor of NorCal as the score flips over now. 2 FCs to just 1.
Looking pretty decent here at the moment for NorCal, but that low ac on Woodshi is kind of keeping Texas in the map. If he breaks, that score loss is going to be catastrophic. If he FCs, it's still an FC and it won't be the worst thing ever, but geez, down 93 AC. I think we might be getting to the point of no return here, though, with the 2 FC to 1 advantage. It's going to be enough in its own right. Oh, but Nice Broccoli breaks, assuming that wasn't Bancho. Not enough time, I don't think, for it to matter.
Yeah, definitely not enough time. I mean, Chillier is going into the ending with almost a 99 FC, but just not going to be enough time. Need to be just a little bit more combo on Texas, and unfortunately for them, NorCal will be getting their first point, as I've now gotten word that Cyber Oni is in Japan, so NorCal might be playing this match 4v6.
Whoa. Boy. That's rough, man. OC tournaments, I don't know. I feel like, how many OSU players are just in Japan right now?
I mean, it happens every year. Like summer vacation, all the OSU players are in Japan. I know Wixinator was in Japan. Razor Fruit was in Japan for a round of 32, as well as Rhythmic RS. And now Cyberoni is there too. I know another Carolina player who might not be playing. I think Yanator is in Japan. Like, everybody's in Japan. Swig was in Japan. Like, what the fuck? Everyone is in Japan.
So, NorCal in a 4v6, but does have a cohesive sort of, at least a few of those four. You have three really good mechanics players out of that, so you do get a little bit of coherence to the remaining players. But you still don't want to be playing two members down. Texas is going to start Hidden 3, and I think, you know, this might just be the way to go. You figure you're playing against Window Life Woodchi, Nice Broccoli. You know, you're going to be in a spot where, and who's the other? Haru Urara. They're probably going to feel like they're in a spot where they can pick into Hidden, into Reading, into Gimmick, and that will give them, you know, a reasonable chance on their own picks. And then once NorCal runs out of raw mechanics, then they maybe feel like NorCal will start to struggle a little bit. So we go just a hidden alt pick. I mean, the hidden pool is the alt pool this week. All three are some function of alt. And this is the THZZ kind of modern alt.
This map, I think the hardest part of this one is at the end of each chorus, there's a couple bursts that transition into these alt square patterns, and it's really easy if you don't have proper finger control or you can't actually burst the BPM, you're gonna end up being off rhythm for those alt squares, and it's just so easy to miss those if you aren't on point. But I think there's a really good pick for Texas. It kind of combines the alt prowess of Decaton with like the hidden prowess of Toybot, so. And Flameseer just being like a really good all-rounder now means that I think all three of them are on the docket for a pretty good score on this.
Yeah, I concur. Decaton is just good at stuff. Flameseer is just good at stuff. Like, I don't know. And you know, NorCal just gonna sub out Woodchi in this one for Haru Urara. You've got the Nice Broccoli, Window Life. Window Life, like, low-key underrated, I feel, on just kind of hidden in general, especially like hidden tech, but not a slouch on hidden alt either. So definitely a player that can put up a solid score on this. We'll see how the roster does as a whole. Oh, go ahead.
I just remember a couple years ago against South Korea in that OWC Grand Finals match where Window Life top scored that hidden tech pick. That was like kind of a hybrid, like mechanics sort of tech map. Just being really good at hidden when it matters most, but finding a break on that little stack, as does Nice Broccoli.
You could say a suboptimal way of starting the map with the couple early breaks for NorCal. This is moderately long, 3.5 minutes. Like the top half of this pool has a bunch of pretty long maps in it, kind of that sequence from like No Mod 5 down through Hard Rock 1. Everything's like 3.5 minutes plus, so you got time to settle in. If you start out with a break or two, it's not necessarily going to be the end of the world, but facing a triple FC on the other side, you're going to start to fall behind as Texas takes a 125k lead thus far.
And here's that first square. Okay, so it only catches out a hexagon for NorCal. Otherwise, it's a three-way still alive for Texas with no FCs remaining on NorCal, but a couple of reestablished 400-ish combos between Window Life and Nice Broccoli means that they aren't really out of this yet, but they really need to see a break from Texas very fast if they want to have any chance.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little scary. It's very difficult to pull back what is now 300k, especially with another break coming in from Nice Broccoli. This is kind of Texas just flexing their muscle. As you were saying before the map started, a very, very strong roster on this type of map for pretty much every reason you could come up with for how a team might be good at this type of pick, as Nice Broccoli and Haru both struggling a bit in this middle third. And Miles, we are in for a very one-sided showing on this pick, it would appear.
Yep, Flamesteer does get squared, but there is still Toybot on the FC, and that is almost matched by Window Life, but they already have a 500k lead, and they need a lot more combo than they have to have any chance of fighting that. So I think could pencil this one in already as a first point on the board for Texas, and a very successful first pick from them.
Shoutouts Window Life. Early break has recovered quite well. Just the one FC on Toybot left on Texas, but it's going to feel pretty good if you are Texas. Super, super comfortable first win here. And, you know, you're NorCal, you are probably just thinking about DT3. That's, you're moving on and thinking about DT3.
They're thinking about DT3, or they're thinking about Astolfo.
That's a, oops.
Definitely a score from Toybot that just got set. 4WC Hidden Player Extraordinaire coming in for that 851k, joined by 640k from both Decatur and Flamesteer for a dominant first pick.
Yeah, and I'm just I'm taking a watch at the other match, Florida versus Connecticut, on the B stream right now, playing the same map that we just finished. Connecticut not quite dominating it to the level that Texas did, but they are up by 400k, and Ika Enya, William Burgers putting up a very solid score. Gonna look to be around maybe 750k. So Connecticut also, might I add, 3-wayed DT4. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, did better than either team in this match on that map.
They are just bracket terrorists.
Yeah, Connecticut's crazy. 24 seed, by the way. 1.4 million.
Oh!
And we're getting it. It's happening.
Astolfo about to catch this dick. This is hype.
So. Are you ready?
If you're listening to the song, yes, this is a speed pick, and it's in the Hard Rock pool.
Yeah. Is it? How fast is this? 238? Yeah, that's fair. I'm a little surprised they went into this before DT3, but I guess both, you know, both is fine. I kind of forgot about this map in the pool, because they'll have this, they'll have DT3, they'll also have Nomad 5. I mean, on the low-key, even missing 2 players, NorCal kind of has 4 picks out of the 5 total that they could possibly have in the match. Just because there's a fair amount of tapping in this pool.
There's a fair amount of tapping in this pool, and you definitely have enough other maps in the pool to where you can find some sort of synergy between the remaining players. Like, Window Life, Woodshy, Nice Broccoli, like, you have 3 really solid mechanics players there, and having Hexagon around means you have sort of that gimmick coverage if you want to pick, like, a gimmicky free mod map, like the Free Mod 4 or something, or the Free Mod 2 as well. So there's still a lot in the tank for this NorCal team in terms of just their raw skill cap, their consistency. But Texas on a map like this could also be very scary. Chillier on the HR mechanics as well as Flames here could be very scary. And I didn't even mention Decatur. So NorCal will have their work cut out for them. Need to win on their own picks, I think, desperately when you're down 2 players.
Yeah, you absolutely will not be able to afford giving up break points in a matchup like this. And, you know, the DC4 was already closer than you would obviously want it to be if you're NorCal. That one's, what, 62K as the margin. So looking for maybe a little bit of a stronger performance here, you know, just needed that slightly higher third player to make that one a little more comfortable. But again, definitely, as we were talking about before the match, like, this is just a skill set that both of these teams will be able to play. We are not at the stage of the tournament where it's like Window Life 1v9 on speed. And so, again, it's going to be, you know, just who ends up pulling the short straw, just the one, you know, maybe miss one slider break, whatever it may be. The margins are going to be pretty slim on these picks. And you can see that already, right? Almost halfway through, not a single break yet. And 100K lead to Texas on accuracy. 93 on Woodsheet. He's really struggling with the accuracy. Same thing happened on DC4.
Yeah, I mean, relying on the combo game, it's good until you're in an accuracy battle situation like this. Absolutely cannot afford to break if you're Woodsheet. Need to see a break from Texas in order to take the lead back. And 121K is not insignificant with only a third of the map remaining. I still see the 3-way, but we're going into the end section here. Flames and Chillier will drop. Oh! That is all of NorCal going down, and only Decatur is holding the FC. And now this pick is really starting to go awry.
The ever-trustworthy Decatur holding down the fort for Texas here. Nobody else in the lobby making it through that little section of map, which, you know, I don't feel like it's a diff spike as such, but it just stays as challenging as anything else. And 5 members go down, but 1 holds on, and Decatur is going to single-handedly raise Texas's level here. 500K margin of victory, and about 400,000 of that is Decatur alone. A very impressive FC, obviously a player known among other skill sets. He's known for a lot of things, but Hard Rock mechanics, I feel like, were one of the earliest things that he became known for, and really does show that here. The 600s, the FC, contrast that sharply with what happened on the other side on Woodsheet, for instance. The 2 middle players were close, but that entire gap is just Decatur all the way down to Woodsheet.
That is just how the cookie crumbles for NorCal, I guess. Texas, early break point going their way now with their own pick coming up next. Have to expect them to go back to the hidden pool.
Yeah, I think you can go either hidden here. You can go hidden 1 or hidden 2. Or no, you can't go hidden 2. It was banned. Sorry. So be hidden 1 if you want to go back to hidden pool. Strictly speaking, I feel like free mod gimmick would not be bad either. Free mod 2, free mod 4.
For sure, but Prima 2 is, I think, a little bit on the easier side in this pool. Like, Hidden 1, I think, is especially good because there are reading elements in that map. Like, there are a couple stacks that are really tough if you haven't practiced them or if you aren't, like, I guess, a good reading player. So you can really abuse, I guess, NorCal not really having a full reading roster. But they're going to go for the Nomad 4 instead. This is the only map in this pool that I haven't practiced, and I don't know how to say what this is. But it sounds like it's somewhat of a tech pick.
It's tech. It has some very cool aim control patterning in it. So kind of some of that, you know, light, not tapping in the sense of speed, but, you know, tapping aim control, along with some slider aim as well. So kind of straddles that line between different sorts of tech elements, not as raw slider heavy as what the Cat in the Nomad 2 slot. But does encompass a few different, you know, other archetypes of the tech slot. And I feel like you just run Chillier Flames to Caton, and Window Life gets joined by somebody or other and hopes for the best.
Yep, we're going to see Hexagon in for NorCal, of course. Now,
Wait,
a lot of
this
pressure on
Caton.
Hexagon to make up the entirety of the non-mechanics roster here for NorCal, just relying on the all-roundedness of Window Life and Nice Broccoli here to try and take a chance on this pick. Texas's second pick now. If they win this, it'll be in a consolidated breakpoint.
Yeah, if Texas wins this one, the match gets a little scary for NorCal very quickly. I think you probably have to stay the course as NorCal because I don't really know what your pivot is. But if Texas gets the 3-1 lead here, this can get out of hand relatively quickly. Breakpoint back here would be pretty incredible. Would be something useful, as the great David Faraday may say. But we'll see how this goes. You gotta like Texas on a map like this.
No better time than now, though, for a timely FC on the side of NorCal, a timely three-way drop on the side of Texas, but with how they have looked so far this match, you cannot expect that on their second pick.
And in we go to some of these sliders. Breaks are going to be some Bancho, I would think, but boy, those combos didn't come back, so that does look like a double break from Window Life and Nice Broccoli in that intro section, and there goes Hexagon as well. It is down to no FCs for NorCal. Double FC still intact for Texas as Toybot does fall, but Decaying and Flames tier, I mean, I feel like you're expecting them to come out and drop high scores on pretty much everything they're in for on a pool like this, and they are obliging.
Yeah, I mean, they're the two players in this matchup that I think so far have shown to be a level above the rest, and they've just been that so reliable core roster for Texas. The Caton expected Flames tier really emerging as one of the top tourney players in the country, I think, in the last 6 months, and looking to prove that with another really strong score through that difficult cut stream section there. And now just a third of the way left, Texas a very strong 450k score lead, looking to run this one on home and consolidate that break point.
Yeah, I think it's job done at this point for Texas. A quarter of the map left with a 550k lead, and FC still intact on Decayton. Flames here just now dropping his, but holding for quite some time, and Toybot putting up a respectable third score. I mean, 440k plus, doing better than Window Life, doing better than Hexagon, and not too far behind Nice Broccoli, who has the best score for NorCal, and will not be an FC. Late break from Decayton does come out, but another solid win. Texas starting off very well in their own picks and mixing in that break point. 3-1 the advantage. Going to be feeling pretty good if you are the Texans now with that consolidated break point in your back pocket.
Only have to worry about winning your own picks now if you're Texas, but it would do them a lot of good if they could manage to win this next NorCal pick. And for NorCal, can't afford to lose any more of your own picks. Have to expect them to return to the DT pool again here on the DT3, as you mentioned, that 10.3 sort of aim map, sort of speed, just typical DT1 sort of map.
Yeah, the the DT1 in the DT3 slot. I feel like that just has to be it. I mean, I don't know where else you would necessarily go here. Maybe, I mean, if you want to play the first of the two tiebreakers, I guess you could pick No Mod 5 if you're NorCal. That would be maybe the other option. But I do think the DT3 is probably better for the time being. But they're going to take a little bit of time to think it over here, as you know, we're kind of on an early crucial spot in this match. Rolls 2. I don't know if that's No Mod 5 DT3.
No Mod 3. Watch it.
Could be No Mod 3. I kind of forget that map is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a data map, of course.
Yeah. So maybe it's No Mod 3 DT3, and the roll 2 getting 1 is the No Mod 3. You do raise a fair point there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Fremont 3 was the other stream map in the pool, so if you want to play off of that, Nomad 3 is an option. But it's going to be the Nomad 1. This was kind of sitting in the back of my head as something that NorCal might want to pick in this match. This map's just awkward aim all the way through. Very high uptime, not much space to recover your cursor on this one. Just intense aim all the way through. It's decently long, I think. Up at 2 minutes 47. Yeah, it's average length.
It feels longer than it is. I will say I noticed this very specifically in the map pool showcase. This feels a lot longer than 2 minutes 47 seconds.
And it's because there's uptime for all of it. You don't have any slow parts in this. It's 2 minutes 47 of non-stop drums on this. I think this song's Russian, right?
Yes, yeah. It's like, oh goodness, the Melon Boy OWC map.
Warcry?
Yeah, Warcry. Thank you. All I could think of was Punch. I was like, Punch is involved somehow. Yeah, but like Warcry, right? Which just feels like interminably long because it's 100% uptime. Kind of that sort of vibe in terms of like feeling like a longer map than it is.
Pretty sure this one was originally a Course Ace custom. Yeah, it was. Course Ace Open 2022, Hidden 1 from QF.
You'd think I would remember that, but alas.
I think I test played this iteration, so that's why I remember it.
Still 22 Hidden 1 quarterfinals. Wow. Well, so it opens up a different skill set. We have not seen aim as of yet in this match with the picks we've gotten so far. If this goes well for you as NorCal, I don't really know that it necessarily opens anything else up. Maybe Fremont 1 would be the closest argument you could make for a pick to follow this up with, but, you know, you're kind of just going one-by-one picks, I think, at this stage of things when you're down the break point and the consolidation as well. You're just like, okay, we got to play one map at a time.
I think this is really a Woodchi pick here. Woodchi was kind of playing that low-act combo game on the previous speed picks. Something like this, he's going to be a lot more comfortable on, with the accuracy being his other main skill set than speed being his aim. And meanwhile, Window Life, Nice Broccoli should be somewhat comfortable on this as well. Meanwhile, on the side of Texas, Flamesteer to Kaiten and Toybot. Don't always expect to see Toybot on the non-hidden, non-gimmick, but very competent aim player as well.
Yeah, he's the one I would question mark just a little bit in this Texas 3-man, but I'm sure he will do more or less fine. Like, you know, at this level of play, you're anticipating people to just be solid at most facets of aim. It is a couple of early breaks for Woodchi. You know, you hate to like kind of call a player out, but he does seem to be struggling a bit this match, and NorCal really needs him to kind of lock in if they want to have a chance at bringing this back.
There goes Nice Broccoli as well. So 2 out of 3 FCs down for NorCal. Woodchi has recovered somewhat nicely, but only the Toybot miss coming out from Texas. So combos are going to be just about even here. A slight 64k lead for Texas, but on no mod that is going to mean a little bit more than it would on a modded pick with the lower score multiplier.
There's a couple breaks from Toybot. Gonna keep this pretty stuck on about 80k. Watching Flamesteer, watching Decaton, watching Window Life on the FC, Woodchi on the recovery. Nice Broccoli recovering as well. Oh, it's a miss aim from Flamesteer and then a slider break to follow it from Toybot. And that is going to throw it right over to NorCal. It is another break from Woodchi, but it's the FC on Window Life to match Decaton, and then recovery combo from Nice Broccoli up at 370 plus. Score gap is going to start to come down, but it's going to be slow, and there's another break from Nice Broccoli, and now that score gap is going nowhere, especially with Woodchi breaking another couple of times. There goes Window Life as well. The FC is gone. Decaton holds on for Texas, and that might have just been the map slipping through NorCal's fingers.
Who else other than Decaton? He has been on a different level of terror in this last year. really, really strong stuff from him so far this match. Looking to solo carry another map after that really strong performance on the HR3. And it might be another breakpoint for Texas now.
That ship may have sailed. It is leaving harbor. It is catching the wind into the setting sun. Decaton on a tear, and the recovered combos from Flames Tier and Toybot to back him up. Decaton just playing so well, so consistently, time and time again. Gonna be breakpoint number 2 for Texas here. It's gonna be a 4-1 lead heading into their next pick. And the potential risk of the awkward aim Nomad 1 does bite NorCal as Texas takes their second breakpoint.
Dire straits now for NorCal, down a couple breakpoints. Texas, their own pick coming up, will be able to reach match point if they win this one. And still with another hidden pick remaining after how the dominant they were on the hidden 3, I think they might consider just going straight into that. But also do have the free mod pool open, which is another one that they have been extremely competent on this tournament.
Yeah, Texas with, geez, what have they had? 4 free mod wins so far this tournament, I think. I don't know what map they lost to Indiana in that first match, but they have played 4 free mods and only dropped 1 map in total, so doing pretty well for themselves regardless. I like this roster for free mod too. When you've got Flames Tier, you've got Decaton, you've got Toybot, you've got Chillier. Like, you've got a lot of options for hidden and for hard rock, and even you know, maybe some players who can come in for easy. And it's going to be the free mod 4. So indeed, we get the anti-mod CS5 AR8, and it is a Kirby mix, modern Kirby mix, but Kirby mix nonetheless. Star Rod Kirby himself on this one. Are we gonna see some crazy mod choices here? Very curious.
Oh, yo, yo. I'm thinking we're gonna see a Aidenth easy. Aidenth being, I think, the surprise easy player of all time in this tournament, by the way. Being maybe the one guy to transition from being like a total speed main into like an easy player. Like, you never see that transformation from anyone ever. Trigon, definitely to come in from Texas as well. So maybe no Aiden for this one. Trigon probably takes the easy. Decaton on the hard rock, Toybot on the hidden, I think is pretty obvious. Meanwhile, for NorCal, little less certain. Definitely will see Hexagon in taking something, either an easy or a hidden. I think potentially a hidden, because easy doesn't count as its own unique mod in the format. So you will just need to have another player in there to take the hidden.
Yeah, I think you probably go Hexagon, hidden, Woodshi, hard rock, and then nice broccoli preference, which could be another hard rock. This is where, like, missing a couple players from your roster on a map like this is a definite struggle, I think, for NorCal. Now, of course, saying that they're going to win it, because that's just how that goes, right? It's going to be Window Life coming in. I wonder if it's going to be...
Window can definitely run this hard rock.
Window Life hard rock, and then I don't know what Nice Broccoli does on this. Toybot saying easy hidden WTF, so I'm assuming that's going to be Hexagon running easy HD. Which respect. Yep.
Super respect. Oh my god.
Double hard rock, overmod hard rock for NorCal, and that is kind of what happens. Like, you don't have just a comfort no mod player on this, so you know, keep an eye out there. Double hard rock on this type of map often can be a little bit of a problem if your players aren't super comfortable on it. Texas, no surprise, as you said. Easy on Trigon, hidden on Toybot, hard rock on Decaton on their own pick. Easy multiplier will be accounted for in the overlay, so the score difference will be correct at the bottom of the screen. Thank you to our technical team for making that happen.
I think You have to watch Hexagon during the difficulty spike in this map. After, I think the second break, there's this just really difficult ult pattern that you have to flow. And I think that's got to be really difficult on the easy hidden. But otherwise, I think most players should be fairly consistent on this. For the first half of this map, it isn't really that difficult. But it is going to be the first miss coming out for Nice Broccoli. So will be the lead going over to Texas shortly. But there is a Trigon miss that I missed. So never mind about that.
Yeah, it's going to be basically dead even for the time being. Trigon just a little bit behind Nice Broccoli once you take the multiplier into account. 2 FCs against 2. Gonna watch Window Life, gonna watch Hexagon especially, that easy hidden. Some very tricky patterns. There goes Window Life, the Hard Rock to fall. No matching break on the other side will mean Texas can take the lead here. 50k and growing. Still, get into the break in the middle, and now we wait. I got caught sleeping, I guess.
Okay. Here is the impossible pattern. Let's look at Hexagon.
Oh my goodness, that is so satisfying to watch.
Oh, he hit it.
He hit the entire thing. So did Trigon. So did Decaton, by the way, with Hard Rock.
That's incredible.
By the way, Trigon, Decaton, and Hexagon all hit that, which is ridiculous.
Oh, and he misses on that pattern of all things.
Okay, I know that on paper this is, like, if you're a Hard Rock player, this is easier on Hard Rock or whatever, but I mean, just look at Decaton. I'm sorry. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I mean, Decaton's on a Flames tear right now. Just playing absolutely stellar this match. This is the third map where we're going into the ending, and he is the only FC that is one of the best players in the United States, showing why he can call himself that.
Yeah, this is some really impressive stuff from Decaton going on in this match, and unfortunately Hexagon having just a bit more trouble here at the ending, so that easy hidden play is not going to end up looking quite as sparkling as it may have. But we're just watching Decaton trying to pull the FC train into the station for a 500k plus win on this point for Texas to take a 5-1 lead. The ending sliders, yep, no problem there. No problem there. Decaton is just on one.
Just completely locked in is Decaton. This is...
Oh my goodness.
Hoping we could see some of this OWC, because if we get this version of Decaton, I think we can win again, right?
Yeah. Yep. Decaton simply aura farming in this matchup. Drops another full combo. And Texas 5-1 now. Match points. And a whole slew of them. Gonna be feeling pretty good. Pretty good about their standing in this match. And man, you know, I don't want to say like exercising demons or anything, because Texas did beat NorCal last year, and it was all the way in the losers final last year. But the 3 matchups before that, NorCal had won 4 out of the last 5 before that. I mean, it was 7-2 in NorCal's favor before last year. Texas now 1 point away from back-to-back wins for the first time ever in the most played matchup in USC history.
By the way, Lillian just pointed out in chat, which is actually true, Decaton has not yet missed this match. Has only slider broke, I think, once or twice.
That's true. He had an S rank on Hidden 3, despite the fact that he bottom scored it for the team.
Yeah, still running full S ranks for the entire match. So, yeah, just on a heater, on a generational heater. Gotta pick against him if you're NorCal, but you're gonna be going Fremont 1.
That's not picking against Decaton.
Not at all. I mean, he's gonna be taking Hard Rock. And you remember during the showcase, this map is much more difficult on Hard Rock. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
this is the free mod pick that's just screwing over the Hard Rock players like completely. So if Decaton can take the Hard Rock on this and top score it once again, that would be something else. But I think the more logical action here would be to put him on the consistent no mod.
Can we just appreciate this song, by the way? This song is so nice. But yeah, I mean, is there a world where you go Flames to your Hard Rock, Toybot hidden, Decaton Nomad, and just say, you're on a heater, go FC this?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm kind of rolling with it.
Like a Flames tier average Hard Rock run on this, if it's like 450 or 500k, and like Decaton, this map's tough with Hard Rock, you only get like 600k, you don't FC. Like, you'd rather have him be on the no mod when he's playing this well. But we'll see.
Just as a bit of an update for anybody not paying attention on the other stream, Connecticut in a battle. They're up 4-1, I believe. Florida now has brought it back to 4-3 with back-to-back wins on Tsubaki and on 60 Summer of Love. So that one getting interesting, whereas this one is getting close to possibly the ending. And so it will be Hard Rock, Nice Broccoli, Hidden Window Life, Nomad, Woodchi. And a nice little symmetry here with the Hard Rock, Decaton, Hidden, Toybot, Nomad on Flames tier. So Decaton will have to play the Hard Rock on this, will have to play by far the most difficult mod on this map, but the level he's at, man, I don't put anything past the guy.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, hardest map in the pool, my ass. I mean, this guy could be doing the same thing on a harder map pool, so maybe just another day at the office for our resident clip farmer, as Toybot chain misses that entire stream, going to be throwing the lead over to NorCal early.
Struggling a bit here. Hidden can be tough on this map, I will say. Like, I mean, I think it's easier than Hard Rock, but it's not easy. And there goes Woodchi as well, a couple breaks on the Nomad there. There goes Decaton. Goodbye, S-rank streak. I believe, anyway. I think that was an actual miss, not a slider break. I may be mistaken. It's NorCal in the lead for the moment.
Nice Broccoli, I think, crucially holding the HRFC through the first half. Really impressive stuff from him. And Window Life on the Hidden, not typically the mod you expect from Window on a map like this, as he does find a break on that little buzz slider there, as Toybot chain misses another stream. So just Flames here now for Texas, and NorCal, I think, for perhaps one of the only times this match going to be seeing, I think, a pretty comfy combo lead on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combo lead. I don't know that I'd call it comfy though.
Yeah,
it's matching. It's matching on Flames tier and Nice Broccoli. And there goes Nice Broccoli. In fact, the Hard Rock FC gone. And there goes Woodchi as well. It's disaster that has struck North California. Half of a state has cried out in terror, as Texas now will charge into the lead. 75,000K and growing. Flames tier on that Nomad FC. That's why you love to have this sort of flexibility with your mod players, because you have Flames tier on Nomad, who's just cruising through the map. You have Decaton on Hard Rock, who's putting up a 452K thus far, only barely trailing Nice Broccoli. Despite Toybot struggles, you're now up by 100K regardless.
Yeah, and I mean, even though Decaton has missed now a couple of times, the accuracy keeps his score very, very high. As Window Life finds a couple more breaks. Texas with 200K. And it looks like our El Clasico might be coming to an end preemptively, as all of the remaining combos on NorCal go down. And Flames tier continues to hold the Nomad FC. And it looks like Texas's ticket to the semifinals has been punched.
It has indeed, and there is the victory. It's a 6-1 final score. Matchup number 11 in the North California versus Texas series will go the way of Texas. They get to the semifinals for the third time ever, which is kind of surprising when you consider they've been top 8 every single year at worst of USC's history. This is only their third time being in semifinals from the winner's side, and it was a dominant performance to get them there. That showing from Decatur was ludicrous. He will put up, let's see, what formula do we prefer? He's going to put up a 1.68 flashlight match cost with 4 top scores in 7 maps. Leading the way, Flames tier a bit behind, but what a showing from Decatur, what a showing from Texas on to winners semis. They will face the winner of the last match of the weekend, Virginia versus Oklahoma, and they're feeling like they can beat anyone after that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a revenge tour for Texas. Coming in with the exact same roster is very rare for USC, especially for a team that just got top 2. But they are ready. They are pushing to try and get over the barrier this time, and they're going to be facing a pretty tough opponent next week, whoever comes out of that Virginia-Oklahoma matchup. But if they can keep performing like that, if the Decatur and Flames tier can keep up the performance, I don't really know who can beat them. They're just so damn well-rounded with a really good high end as well to boot. So all of the power to them. Meanwhile, NorCal will go down to the loser's bracket, will face off later against the winner of the block of matches of Georgia, New Jersey, and Minnesota. New Jersey and Minnesota will, the winner of that will play Georgia, and the winner of that will play NorCal. So trying to reestablish themselves in the loser's bracket. Unfortunately, though, missing that one hidden player, now Tourney Band, will be playing 5v6 for, I think, the remainder of the tournament.
Yeah, I would have to guess that. And this is uncharted territory for NorCal. Very rare for them to fall to loser's bracket this early. You know, they've been semifinalists like 6 times or something. They just get through. So we'll see what kind of run that they can go on, and got a lot of matches to figure out who's going to be playing whom, but we will eventually find out. That is going to do it for this stream for tonight. We will be back on a stream here on Twitch TV/USA_States_Cup_Su. It's going to be Sunday 1:30 UTC, 9:30 Eastern tomorrow night. Nobody wants to play on Saturdays anymore, I guess, so it's going to be a while. However, we do still have Florida versus Connecticut going on as we speak. That match is at 5-3 in favor of Connecticut, so they are at match point, looking to eliminate Florida, giving them their tied worst result ever. So we are going to send you guys on over to that channel. We are going to raid the B stream. So we thank you for watching this match. Congratulations to Texas. Best of luck to both teams in their next matches. I've been T1G. He's been Miles. Go enjoy B stream and have yourselves a great night.